Hello and welcome to 4R Systems Client Delivery webinar series. My name is Mark Garland, Executive Vice President of Sales, Marketing and Solutions here at 4R Systems, and I will be moderating today's webinar session. Just a couple of housekeeping items so everybody's aware. This webinar is being recorded and will also be available post the event and also posted on our website with a follow-up link as well. Also, everybody right now is in listen-only mode, and we will be opening up for questions post the presentation, and we'll be asking for questions via the chat room later on throughout the presentation. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our presenter today, Susie Morello, Senior Manager, Client Delivery, who will be presenting today's topic, Phantom Inventory. Susie, over to you.
Hi, I'm Susie Morello, and today we're going to be talking about phantom inventory. What we're going to discuss is what is phantom inventory, how we at 4R identify phantom inventory, possible causes of phantom inventory, quantification of margin improvement, and how some of the 4R clients use this service today. Explanation of service. What is phantom inventory? Phantom inventory is a common retail term for goods accounting systems consider to be on hand but are not available to sell when the customer goes to purchase them. Available means when a customer goes to the home location, they're going to find the product and be able to purchase it. Unavailable is when a customer goes to the home location and they cannot find the product to purchase. Phantom inventory is considered unavailable, which equates to lost sales. So what are some of the common reasons for phantom inventory? There's theft, paperwork errors, for example, stores don't acknowledge shipments or DCs ship to incorrect stores, recording of sales incorrectly, for example, a UPC code is incorrectly on a product, or when the customer goes to the checkout, the product scanned is incorrect, doesn't match. And lastly, store-level compliance and execution. Product is in the back room, not on the sales floor where the customer can find it. It's not in the home location, or it's hidden behind another product. The first three examples, product is not in the store at all. Can't be purchased. And the fourth example, the product is in the store. But all of them result in lost sales. So how do we at 4R identify inventory that is potentially phantom? We look over a designated period of time to identify SKUs in stores with available inventory and no sales. We then apply math. What's the probability that SKU should have sold in that store during that time period? And this yields a set of SKUs that could possibly be phantom. Time and probability are tuned so that we can get a better answer. So for example, longer periods of time, 10 weeks versus 2 weeks, provide less false reads in categories with slow movers. Probability of sales occurring is also tuned to provide less false reads. This tuned analysis produces an output of SKUs in stores with a high probability of phantom inventory. So an example would be, we look at our customers' data, we tune to look at 10 weeks of sales, and we look for SKUs in stores where they have a 99% probability of a sale occurring, but no sales have occurred. And at that point, we would be scoring that SKU in that store as phantom. So how's this service used? So there's two phases to this service. The first is the quantification of phantom inventory and margin improvement. So we do data analysis, and we summarize potential margin improvement if the phantom inventory is corrected. This is an example of a summary from a SKU stores with high probability of phantom inventory. in this analysis phase, we analyze data at different levels. So, for example, here, the chart on the left identifies categories with the highest loss margin due to phantom inventory. So you can see all the orange dots out to the right are the categories that have the highest loss margin due to the highest phantom inventory. The second example chart on the right identifies stores with the highest phantom inventory and corresponding loss margin. So again, all the orange dots that you see outside of the blue are the stores with the highest loss margin and phantom inventory. Doing it this way allows the clients to target categories and stores with the highest phantom inventory. So phase 2 of the service is how are our clients using this data that we're providing them through our analysis. So this is an example of a SKU store output that we would generate on a weekly basis for our customers. This allows them to key in on stores and specific SKUs with high probability of phantom inventory. So for example, look at the first SKU, 369603 at store 652. Over 10 weeks, they've sold 0 units with a forecast of 60. Our analysis shows that there's a 99% probability that at least 1 unit should have sold in that store over that time period. With this in hand, the client can go to the store and look for the product. They might find the product. In fact, it might not be in its home location, and they might not find the product. If they don't find the product, at that point, they can do an inventory adjustment to their accounting systems. If they find the product, then they can put it on the floor where the customer can find it and sell it. So also in this phase 2, another way we've had a client use this is they've identified through that analysis that we've given them markets and specific stores with the highest phantom inventory. They've then created a task force in a set of those stores, and they coordinated with their store and regional managers to go out and identify root causes of the phantom inventory. What they found when they did this was that the product was in the stores, but not in the home location. They called this poor truck-to-floor compliance. Deliveries were coming in, but not making it out to the sales floor to fill the shelves for replenishment. So what they've done is gone back and developed a process to work with and audit stores to eliminate this. So they use our weekly analysis to review phantom inventory in stores and to track and audit these stores in this test phase. So today we've discussed what phantom inventory is, how we identify phantom inventory, possible causes of phantom inventory, quantification of the margin improvement, and how our clients can use this service.
Excellent. Thank you, Susie. What we'd like to do at this stage is just pause for a moment to open up the chat line for any questions. I think you should find on the right-hand side of your webinar a chat box. If there's any questions, please pose them to us, and we'll certainly try and address them real time. So if you have any questions, please use the chat room. Okay, we've got a couple through here. So one of the questions is, do most retailers have phantom inventory?
I would say most of them do, because there's always theft, there's always paperwork errors, and there's always compliance issues. It's just that everyone has it to a different degree.
And then we've another question here also in terms of more of an implementation and sort of identification. So on average, how long does it take to identify phantom inventory?
Well, the service depending on whether it's an existing client or a new client, and we have their data or not. But first we have to gather the data, analyze it, and then produce the analysis output. So, it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks by the time we analyze the data and refine it and get it back to the clients.
Okay, excellent. Actually, we've got quite a few coming through here. So, does your process make it easier for retailers to identify actions that can take back to their stores to address phantom inventory?
Yeah, I think by the way we aggregate the data and splice it out through our analysis, you can go to your stores and do some root cause analysis. And actually, we ourselves have taken it out with some of our clients and done field tests ourselves, going to look and see, okay, we're showing these items as phantom in the store, but yet, can we find it in the store?
So in essence, you're taking, obviously, the heavy analytic statistical approach to, in essence, identify an operational action to go, in essence, out to the store. There's some anomaly.
Right.
Let's understand what that anomaly is. Is it because it's up on the top shelf? Is it in the back room? Or was it simply not available? Therefore, it creates a physical action within essence the demand location.
Exactly.
Okay. Actually, we've got another question that's come in here from Mark, and I would imagine you find several problems taking place in the company at once. It's a true statement. How do you prioritize the work processes to fix these? So, I think when sort of thinking through, and I'm reading between the lines here, there's, how do you sort of prioritize? Is it a phantom inventory? Is it, when you're putting a system in place, you've got things like, data quality, you've got operational issues,
yeah.
And then how do you balance that in terms of, phantom inventory, in terms of getting the store buy-in? I think also will be another point to do that, because typically that it's managed centrally.
Mm-hmm.
The replenishment function is managed centrally.
Right.
Now you've got to have that outreach to the physical store to in essence, prioritize that action and make sure that A, the action's taken,
yeah.
and B, there's a response back to correct that.
Yeah, our analysis helps the retailer really pinpoint, the specific SKUs and stores that are problems, where, they can go out and do that root cause analysis and find out, is it a store level compliance issue? Is the problem in the store, and we need to do store training to help get the stuff onto the shelves to the right place? Or is it if the product's not there in the store, then there has to be some tracking back to find out, okay, are the barcodes incorrect? Is it being scanned incorrectly? Is the DC not shipping correctly? Is the store not accounting for its inventory correctly when it's received? So all the back office stuff, the client really has to go back and do that root cause analysis and find out where the breakdown is.
And I guess just kind of one final question, unless there's anything else that comes in through the chat box. What do you find sort of adoption rate, particularly, with the stores taking that action and really following it through?
Well, the best approach has really been getting the district and regional managers of the stores involved, and having them monitor it and hold the stores accountable for getting the product out on the sales floor or managing, the back office correctly. Okay, excellent. We actually have an additional question. What's the highest percentage of phantom inventory you've seen at a retailer or store? And do you help clients with the root cause analysis? Just in aggregate, what's the highest phantom inventory we've seen? Probably like 3 to 4%.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we absolutely do help them. The tuning piece of this that I was talking about, how many weeks we look over to identify the SKUs in stores that should be reviewed, that we really work with the client doing field tests, just going out to the stores with, okay, we're looking over 10 weeks. Are we finding a lot of false reads when we go out to the stores? Maybe there's a lot of slow movers that are showing up in there that are getting us false reads. So we should open that up to 15 weeks or 20 weeks that we look over. So yeah, we help them tune the system from that way so that they get a better answer, less false reads, and then they can get more buy-in when they go out to the stores to get them to start looking to count this stuff.
Okay. And I think there's more of a general question. Does your process make it easy for retailers to identify actions that they, in essence, can take back to their stores to address phantom inventory?
It's more so the pinpointing of where the phantom inventory is, right? It's the analysis to say, this should have sold, but it didn't. And but through that, there are actions that you can identify to take, right? If the product's in the back room, not on the sales floor, it's, okay, why is it in the back room, not on the sales floor? Is the store not have enough man hours to do it? Is it just lack of understanding? That type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's probably, just to summarize, quite let's be specific in terms of what the output from 4R, in essence, obviously is the statistical, analytical output to create, i.e. there's some system and there's some statistical anomaly that when we expected X to be on the shelf, we get the data feedback and there isn't, and there's a percentage difference that creates certainly an action or a call to action to further investigate, whether that be in the physical store or whether it just be a shrink issue or a distribution issue. All of the above are all reason codes, and then obviously feeding that back into a continuous cycle that you're continuously improving the overall results that we drive, but also that's driving operational efficiency in terms of making sure products in the right place at the right time. And in its essence, we're not ordering more because it was stuck in the back room somewhere, or it was stuck up on a high-rise shelf when it should have been physically out on the floor for the consumer, or there is fundamentally a shrink issue going on in that location. So,
right.
Excellent. Well, actually, as I was speaking there, we do have another question come in. We appreciate that. So, would it be beneficial for a store to allow a customer to provide feedback that they couldn't find the product? And then a follow-up, maybe on their mobile app, website, or on a kiosk, or does that not scale enough to provide actionable insights? Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Any perspective?
I think it's good information.
Yeah.
Because if a customer's, that's a lost sale.
Correct.
Customer's looking for it, it's not there, that should cause an action. And
it's an interesting statement about, in essence, using crowdsourcing to I don't have a live example, but I'm, walking in a number of stores where the store does have a mobile app, and you go to that store location and you expect there to be 5 on the shelf, and it's showing that there's only, physically there's only maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, that may be just a small incremental adjustment to the app to allow that feedback to go live from that, from the customer's mobile app back into central systems. I mean, a lot of the fulfill from store, the flexible fulfillment and inventory visibility, that might be another extension of this type of capability. But we certainly provide the call to action. We provide the analytics as part of the overall service, and obviously this is an incremental value that we drive as part of our overall replenishment approach. So if there are no further questions on the chat room now, Susie, appreciate your time today to present to everybody. We will be posting this, as I say, on the website, and there will be a link to the recording for you to further continue to listen, or if you missed this, obviously for those that weren't able to join today, we've got that available and a recording as well. This is a part of a continuous monthly webinar series. We do have another one coming very, very soon in August. Dates are being posted on our website, which we'll send a link out to as they post this event. And the next topic will be on shelf life end of life and sort of incorporation of shelf space, and that also will be part of our client delivery webinar series. So I'll conclude today's webinar. Appreciate everybody for spending the time to join us today. Hopefully you found this insightful. Please feel free to reach out to any of your client managers and for our client team if you wish to know anything further or have a further discussion. We'd be honored to pleased to do that. So I think what we'll do is appreciate the time, and we'll conclude today's webinar, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.